Hello, hello. Sir David the Bard. Oh, God. Okay, I'm coming out of to you from Kangaroo City. It's getting winter down here, and I've got a couple of frozen kangaroos in the living room thawing out by the fireplace. Anyway, I wanted to do a video that I've been thinking about a little bit for 68 years, and what it has to do with human sexuality. It's a subject that certainly has been of an interest and a fascination to me, having a couple master's degrees in human services and Maslow's hierarchy of human needs and is it a need, isn't it a need, whatever. I just want to give a summary so when I die my grandchildren can laugh their ass off looking at this. So anyway, here's what I have discovered. Now, it may not be the same thing you've discovered over a lifetime. It could be very, very different. I'm just giving you my personal slant on human sexuality. It appears from my observations over a lifetime that every human being, to some extent or another, has sexuality. It can be a baby in a crib. It can be a very, very young human being that is already feeling sexual feelings. That it feels good here, it feels good there, and as they grow up, all of us, as we developed, became more and more interested in human sexuality. Some of it had to do with intelligence, some of it had to do with maturation, some of it had to do with who we are. There are some human beings that are highly, highly sexual. Maybe not all their life. It may be a period of their life, 5 years, 10 years, and then suddenly a total reversal, that they're not that much interested. I think that there's some good and some bad in knowing about the sexuality of other human beings. I think that's why pornography has such a draw to it. Is one reason is for men, you don't have to buy dinner. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to take the garbage out. This girl's going to put out no matter what. You just plug in the Google and there she is. So there's some advantages to that. There's also advantages to knowing the length and breadth of human sexuality. Now, it's never occurred to me to tie hydrogen balloons on my testicles and float across the bedroom ceiling. First of all, we have a ceiling fan up there. Knowing me, I get tangled and I just get my testicles banged and banged into the ceiling fan. It's the Bard day. It's a Bard day when that happens. I don't have trapeze in my room for sexuality. They're for, exercise. The mirrors are for shaving. Shit. I'm just saying, every couple or every human sexually is different. Some things excite us. Some people see a tree and they just have to, have sex. Other people see a sheep or a dog, they have to have sex. Some people see a beautiful cheerleader, they have to have sex. So anyway, what I'm saying, and I hope I make this very, very clear, that there's nothing wrong with any human sexuality. Here is the only thing I find important. You cannot and I cannot use our sexuality to hurt psychologically, mentally, or physically any other human being. We have a right to be sexual, but we don't have a right to put that sexuality of ours out onto another human being. It's got to be intelligent and consensual. If it's not, then it's an evil. It's the man's downfall. It is all the evil things that churches say and fanatical other people, etc., etc. If we are not imposing our sexuality on anybody else, we have a right to, float across the room with helium balloons if that's what we want to do. Turn off the ceiling fan. Anyway, I just want to be very clear that my experience has been that every jury that is sitting there, they're all sexual. The judge is sexual. every general authority, even specific authorities. Every human being is. We cannot extrapolate our feelings of our sexuality out onto other humans. It never works. If you find somebody that really sees sex exactly the way you are, that's 1 in 1,000,000. That's 1 in 1,000,000. Most of us are in consensual sexual relationships where there's certain things we do and certain things we don't do because our partner doesn't enjoy seeing us float around the room. So we all compromise. We all compromise. And those that don't compromise go to jail. Rapists and people who assault people to bring about their own fantasies of sexuality. So we cannot think that everybody in the world is like us. Yeah, they're sexual, but how they express it, how often, and in what context do they express their sexuality. Now, I did have one wife, and her and I saw pretty much eye to eye on human sexuality. I mean, it was just 24/7 for 9 years, and we thought the same way, acted the same way, had the same value system, etc. And it was wonderful. It was the highlight of that marriage. But the rest of the marriage sucked. So if we're in bed, we're a happy couple. If we're not out of bed, we're yelling and fighting all the time. So anyway, I just want to go down as an educated person with an uneducated opinion that every human being is sexual. There's nothing we can do about that. And we can play games in our minds that we're not sexual. We can tell people we're not sexual, and we can put on a nun's robe and hat and say, we're married to Jesus. We can do whatever we want, but the truth of the matter is, nuns masturbate, and fathers, in the Mormon Church and in the Catholic Church, they have sex. So anyway, we need to have an attitude of tolerance. We need to have an attitude of understanding, and I think it's very important that we teach our children that they're not going to be the same. I've got one little gal, I've told you 1,000,000 times, Abigail's a lesbian. She's very, very different than her heterosexual little sister. They're very different creatures, and they express themselves in all ways very differently. And so you and I are the same way. There's certain things we like, certain things we don't like, certain things we'd never do in 1,000,000 years, and then sometimes we say something to our partner, and they say, I wouldn't do that in 1,000,000 years. You compromise. You compromise. It's never going to match up perfectly. And as long as we have understanding, and we have respect for other people and their feelings, and as long as we express ourselves legally and morally. I don't mean just legally, but I mean morally. And one of my favorite sayings is that integrity is when nobody will know. Integrity is when nobody will know. What do you and I really do? That to me is integrity. So anyway, I just wanted to get down on record that sexuality is there. It ain't going away. It ain't going away. When you look out the window and you see 1,000,000 people out there, you know somebody's been screwing somebody. And we need to respect each other. We need to all have health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength and loins in the sinews, power in the priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. The bard's gone.